It's after midnight, and it's time for conversations about love, family, friends, sex, and life. It's Love and Life with Carol Riddick and Donavan West, only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome to another episode of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are your hosts.
That's right. That's right. I'm Donavan West alongside the Carol Riddick, y'all. I'm excited to be here in this space.
Yeah, Donavan. You know what? I have to say, I enjoy our show so much. I'm always on 10. Always on 10 when
Always.
I know. I get on his nerves, family. I do. I
No,
probably get on the nerves of some of you, but guess what? I'm happy to be upright and, as they say, breathing on schedule. So,
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And you know what? Whatever you're sipping on, whatever it is,
Now
it doesn't
you know.
matter. You're just sipping on life. Just a good old, right. We want just right. I got the notes from
Let's
the
be
PR
clear.
team. I got it.
Let's be clear with our choice of words. I am not sipping on anything. Okay. I do have some water here in a tumbler, but other than that, no. Where's your red cup? Speaking of sipping.
I don't have it, but you don't sip on water?
No, I said I have some. I said I'm not sipping. I said I do have a tumbler here with some water in it, but I'm not sipping.
A tumbler. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Can't see what's in that, but whatever. No judgment here. It's a judgment-free space. Exactly.
But let me tell you something. Because I'm a good and grown woman, so I have absolutely no problem telling you if I'm drinking something other than water. But because I'm not, and like I said, I'm not even doing that.
But what was that stutter just now, though?
No. Slow down, go fast. There was no stutter.
You sure?
I said because I'm not. Let's be clear. Listen, I'm not drinking at all. Anything.
We have to give a shout out to our audience that's able to see us. Social media platforms and all of our different platforms, on wordradio.com. Thank you all for looking in on us because y'all saw what I saw. Okay.
They saw nothing because nothing.
You saw that pause. You saw that pause just now. But guess what?
You can't see a pause, Donavan. Listen, okay, so family, guess what? Because this sounds like, I don't know what this is. He misses me. You know that? That's what it is. So what we do have, though, is a guest.
That's right. My little lemon drop. We do. We have a guest this evening. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a proper introduction to this guest, because he's not even a guest. He's family, real talk. But for some of you who haven't heard of him, don't know of him, this guy, he brings the personality to the space when it comes to talking about some serious topics, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does. And you know what? I don't want to hold him any longer from our family members because he has so much information to impart, because he's such a knowledgeable professional. I want them to get to know who he is. So without further ado, family, tonight's guest is a well-known psychotherapist, motivational speaker, life coach, and author. And he's certified in rational living therapy. And he's also a certified youth mental health aid, first instructor, and he's committed to normalizing therapy in the African American community. That's something that I can appreciate. How about you, Donna?
Yeah, anyone who's certified in common sense, I'm all ears.
Family, without further ado, listen. Welcome, Mr. Tony Purnell.
Tony.
Listen, I'm just backstage. Like, y'all are cracking me up. I love the energy. And it's so organic. It's so natural.
He likes to pick with me, Tony. He likes to pick with me all the time.
Tony.
Yes.
I feel like
it's about creating a safe space. And I'm saying whatever's in your tumbler, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
What you will not do is paint that picture. Okay. What you will not do. That's what you will not do.
Listen,
okay.
I'm waiting for my limited edition Carol Riddick tumbler from your site. So I mean, we're gonna
Yes.
be in this together.
Yes. Well, thank you for that though, because I do have a line of products, and I do have a tumbler. Yes, I do in my line of products. But you know what? I better.
I gotta get me one.
Tony, you got to get yourself one. So guess what? When you, after your long day, after you dealing with some of the most toughest conversations, and you just, just advancing this whole situation, you just grab your tumbler and have your sip.
I was preparing for today because I didn't know how stressful I was going to be. I don't know if y'all was going to, fire all these questions at me. So I have my good water, in my great aluminum, cup. We're trying to recycle. Cup? Yeah, it's a recyclable aluminum cup. These things are fairly new right now. Everybody's trying to get them.
I like those. I do. I think it's just interesting how similar they are to Moscow Mule cups, but no judgment to you either, Tony. Not at all.
Tony, listen. This one here is not talking. It always has a red cup in hand. Okay, always.
Okay. No judgment zone. No judgment zone.
No judgment zone. That's what we're here to talk about. That and other topics this evening.
Oh my goodness! Right? So, okay, I have a question that I know our family members are going to want the answer to after I read your introduction. What is rational living therapy?
So when we talk about rational living therapy, how do we make the most benefit out of the life that we are dealt with? And so you said, I like to make common sense out of things. It makes sense to have common sense. And so what are the most rational ways that we can become healthier? What are the most rational ways? I'm a solution focused therapist. And so that means if we have a problem, what is the solutions, the most rational solutions through that? A transformational therapist. So we help you transform the way you think, the way you feel, and ultimately the way you behave. And so that's what that means, relational therapy.
See, I told you he's certified in teaching you some common sense.
Let me say why that is, because people don't want
the truth.
Like we used to do back in the day. These long sessions, years and years of therapy, right? They want the microwave approach. Oh, okay. You want the microwave approach? Cool. All right. Now we have rational emotive behavior therapy. That's why we're going to get it to you. I tell people all the time, therapy is not a sprint. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So it's going to take a couple sessions to get you where you want to be feeling as far as our goals and our outcomes. It's going to take a while to get you there. It's a marathon, but the quickest way.
I'm glad you said that. One simple thing about that, right? Because I think most people, even when they look at media, right, and they sit down, in your chair, on your couch, or wherever you are, and they're thinking that they're going to have a Yana Van Zant moment, right? Inside of an hour, they're going to have tears and then feelings of joy, all wrapped up in this short little session. How do you move beyond just saying it's not going to be a marathon, but into actually engaging them on what will be a journey? What are some of the things you may say or also add to that comment?
Absolutely. So when I first meet a couple or an individual or a family or a child or family, they're given a intake form to complete. And so I do that, a pre-screening process. You have to fill out this extensive packet and you bring it to your first session. My own assessment, my questions, one of the biggest questions that I ask my people that I'm with as far as therapy is, what do you want to be different in the future than you're experiencing right now? What does that look like for you? And so that means we're looking at your goals. We're looking at how you look at life right now. How do you want life to be different in the future than what it is currently right now? And so when they look at that question and they hear that question, it's like, oh, I never thought about that. I'm just experiencing problems in this area. Okay, well, how do you want those problems to be resolved? Where do you see therapy ending for you? I know therapy is ending when I'm at this exact place. I know therapy is working when I've met this point of my life, when I met this goal. So that's what we usually start at with that question. And a myriad of other questions, but that's one of my my initial intake questions we start with.
Great, great.
It is. It really is. So with regard to the process overall, there isn't a set amount of time. Is it just depending on, your journey?
Yeah. Yeah, it's dependent on the severity of the issue that you have going on. And also, I'm going to be honest, depends on your pockets. It depends on your pocket. Let's be real. Personally, I am not, I'm an out of network provider. I don't accept insurances. I accept straight cash. And that can be a hindrance for people as well. I have this amount of money. I have this amount of sessions I can work with. How often do you want to see me? Do you want to see me every week? Do you want to see me bi-weekly, every 3 weeks? And so it really depends on several different factors. The most I see people is weekly, right? But everybody don't need that type of frequency. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe you can do bi-weekly. Maybe you can do it every 3 weeks with you and your child. It really depends on what you want to get out and how soon you want to start action-oriented items.
So I have a question. Is your specialty with youth, or is it familial? Is it with regard to the entire family?
So I work with individuals, and that's how I tell people. I work with individuals, couples, and family. So individuals include adolescents. Individuals include older adults. I don't know why teenagers take to me naturally, and I don't particularly enjoy working with teenagers, but they always have a knack with me. I'm like, okay, Mr. Tony, you seem cool. You seem on my level. I'm like, okay, I guess I seem young. I don't know, but
it's that youthful spirit that you have. You've got a youthful spirit.
It is. It is. Thank you. It is. Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome. I could see it when you said it. I was like, I get it. I know exactly why, they enjoy working with you. Does that make sense to me? That makes sense.
Thank you.
It does. It does. And as you mentioned earlier, it's about the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's about the energy. And I think, one thing that is very important to understand is that just because you're in the right space in terms of in front of a therapist, there's still a ways to go in terms of the energy, like being able to be still properly matched. It's not an automatic just because you're in pursuit of getting some assistance that the person there that represents the assistance is automatically going to be the match for you. So I think that energy plays a major role.
It does.
Yeah.
You're interviewing me just as much as I'm interviewing you. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because I'm not sure that a lot of people take that into consideration or realize that when you're searching for a therapist, there is a search. There it is a legitimate process. You don't just call one person and that's it. That's the end all be all. And then your problems will be solved. So I'm glad you said that. And I appreciate your candor and your honesty with, in saying that your preference is not to work with the adolescents. Why would that be though? What is it that
I'm going to be honest, because much of the work that's done with them is done with the parents. It's done with the family structure. And so if I'm telling you, we're working on this assignment, we're working on this homework, the parents need to make sure that's being done. The parents need, because therapy is much more so with you as a parent than I am with your child. Okay, how are we integrating these approaches at home? Since it's a problem at home, it's a problem at school. Okay, therapy is going to be with you as well. Parents drop the kids off. Okay, I'm going to pick them up after a session. Or when they're in session, they feel like it's about them. No, this is for your child. They're bringing you into their therapeutic alliance. They're bringing you into their process. So you need to listen. Now, this ain't your session. They're bringing you into. But when you don't have that, it makes it difficult. When you have it, okay, babysitting service, okay, my child need to communicate with you, and I don't need to hear nothing. That's the part that makes it difficult, working with adolescents. Yeah.
Oh, that
it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
That's the part that makes it difficult.
Very similar to the plight that many teachers have, right? Because you know the teachers they create a certain kind of relationship and they establish a certain kind of culture, right? And then so there's that culture there in that space, and then they go home and it's a different culture. So the number one challenge is how do we unify the culture, right? And now it becomes a homogeneous experience, right? Not something that is just all differentiated and they're just now navigating and finding the seams, the cracks. And so I totally understand. Very good point.
I have to say too, in coupled with what you just said, Donovan, you know, in the more recent past, I was working, well, I work with young adults with regard to, as it applies to music, but I typically coordinate programs. And a few months ago, I went into the classroom and I was working with some babies, my babies that I talk about, but I had no idea just how much, like I said, you know, you go day by day, you go into and fro, but you just don't realize how much things have changed, how much, you know, our babies are dealing with. And I say this because in one particular instance, there was one of the students who was having some issues at home, and the parent was very, very, very clear. I don't know what happened or what, you know, too much of the information, but this parent stated clearly, my child doesn't deserve anything good. My child doesn't deserve anything. But the parent said this, and it, I mean, as I repeat it now, it hurts. It cuts, you know, it hurts because this is who this baby is going home to.
And then, so you set up a culture where your child now looks like, I'm not deserving. Now you set up the culture and you're teaching your child, I'm not worthy. You're setting up a culture to teach your child that I am less than, and I don't need the better things in life. I don't deserve the better things in life. I'm not worthy of nothing good. You taught me that as a parent. You taught me that. And now when we have the things that's coming from the structure of the home, and I'm always learning from you as a parent, I'm going to behave in a manner that's consistent with that.
Yes. So, as a therapist, how do you begin? Where do you begin to break that down?
I'm going to tell you. So sometimes it's a knockout, drag out, punch out session. You talking about, okay, just as much as the parents have a intake form that they complete, I'm doing a adolescent version with the child. Okay, if you can have an ideal parent, what would that look like? Oh, I want my parent to be X, Y, and Z. Okay, great. Mom, if you can have an ideal child, whatever that is, right? What does that look like? What's your version of an ideal child? What's your version of an ideal partner? And mapping that out. Okay, so here we're at. Now, how do we get there? How do we get over here with your own version of that? How do we get to the place that you want to see with your mom? How do we get to the place that you want to see with your child? Sometimes they're not on the same page at all when they come into that initial session. Sometimes they don't come in at all on the same page. It's not. It's not. And it's honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oof. I do not envy your job. I do not envy.
I just came out of a couple sessions before here. I just came out of session with a couple. I just came from my office.
So wait, let me ask you this, it may have something to do with your aluminum cup, but how do you decompress? What do you
Well, this is what I mean. That's all this is. You know?
I'm teasing because this is my tumbler. This is the tumbler that I have with my water as well.
Symbolically, for me, when I walk through the threshold of my home, that's a symbolic meaning. Okay, I'm wiping the day off me. When I get in the shower, I'm literally rinsing the day off of me. And I say my affirmations and I pray when I get in the shower. I know it's weird, you know, but it's like I'm washing the day off of me because you have to get it off of you.
It's not weird. We better do it. Listen, we
Absolutely.
better. I mean, it's so important. You know, you talk about you're a motivational speaker, and I'm sure you tell. I can only imagine that you reinforce that. Like you need to let go. You have to we better, because if we don't, we will carry it, and then it gets heavier and heavier. And you know, the more weighted we become, I mean, heavens to Mercury.
I tell all the people all the time, therapy is not a glamorous position. If anybody's getting into this field for the glamour, the glitz, and the money, tell me where that's at. Please tell me where it's at. As a professional, I have, multiple streams of, income, being a therapist, motivational speaker, author, but just therapists alone, you don't get into the field because it's pretty. The work is heavy. You get dirty. Sometimes you don't get appreciated. You don't get, you don't look for that. I'm doing it for the welfare of the people that I'm serving, my patients.
Well, before
all I'm doing it for.
Well, I'm so sorry to cut you off because I just had a question that came to me when you were speaking. We're about to go to break, but when we come back, I want to know how you release. Like it has to be a weight for you when dealing with different individuals, like how you don't carry that weight yourself. So we're going to take a break, and when we come right back, we're going to talk more about that.
And feel free, y'all, to fill up your cups.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, that's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and get my high school diploma.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. We've been talking with none other than our guest and our friend, Tony Purnell. And before the break, I was asking Tony about now I know you said when you come home, that's it. This is your sanctuary, so that's it. It doesn't come into the house with you. But how is it that you're able to release, the 'cause here's my thinking, because I'm such a passionate person and an emotional
Talk to us,
being.
Carol. Talk to us.
Don't I always? I'm such a passionate person and an emotional being that I'm sometimes empathic. I'll talk to someone and I can't release the hurt or the pain that they're sharing. I feel it on another level. Like how and I imagine to some degree as a therapist, some of that happens with you, or sometimes some cases just hit you that hard. Like how are you able to let go when you get to your sanctuary? How are you able to do so?
So it's a variety of things. So physically, I decompress by playing tennis a couple days a week, right? It's no other way to release some steam than hitting that dang on tennis ball across the court. This dang on session, I can't believe his parents treat him like this. Like physically, tennis. Emotionally, I like to read. I like to cook. I like to take my mind out of things, off the moment, and just for the moment. Sometimes you can't, but if I can just escape the moment, because I'm gonna tell you something, the work is very heavy. It is very heavy, and that's why I said before, it's not given with any glitz and glamour. Nobody strives to be in it still because it pays well or it is glamorous. No, you're doing it because you're truly helping people. You truly want to heal the world. And so for me, I'm also in constant supervision with my mentors, people who guide me, like Dr. Tina Scott, a great mentor to me. I used to intern under her when I was in grad school, and now we work together. We see people. She teach me everything I know about private practice, how to be a better professional. So I'm always in constant guidance with people and my elders around me. I don't have all the answers in life, but I have all the questions. I have all the questions in life. I don't.
Write that down. Wait, I don't have all the answers. I absolutely have all the questions. I'm gonna put that in my pocket.
He changed your whole octave on that. He was like, "But I have all the questions."
I'm gonna put that in my back pocket. Okay? That's what I'm going to do.
So,
what I want.
Good one.
Oh,
Quick question, Tony. So, do you go to therapy?
Yeah. Not as frequent as my patients go, but yes, I am. I'm in a chair. I'm on a couch as well. Some things for my own personal well-being, right? If I'm not in a place, how can I help people transition to the place they're trying to get? I still deal with hurt and pain and resentments from my past, my own relationship with my mother and her addiction. And her, her own things that did not allow, I didn't have a secure attachment to my mother, my parents. And I still dealing with that today as an individual, as an adult. And so there's a lot of things that shows up in the room. If I'm talking to a client and they remind me of my mother,
those triggers.
Or
right.
There we go, that triggering factor.
Yeah.
That transference. Or in counseling, we call it counter-transference. When that happens, of course, I need to get this off of me, and I need to see somebody. Absolutely. I do see a therapist as well.
No, I'm glad you said that, because I wanted to ask that question specifically because people need to know that, just because you're coming in like Superman into that space, that you yourself don't need to also have your own layer where you feel like you can unpack, right? And be able to deal with that in terms of how it impacts your mental. And while also at the end of the day, like you just now also mentioned about the trigger, right? Someone saying something, or there's a certain thing that a parent did that reminds you of your mom, and then you're looking at them like they're your mom, and you're ready to throw them out.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real. People don't understand that. And for you, I'm talking to you therapists out there, you healers, you helpers, for you to think that you got it all together and think you don't have anything to work on. The moment you feel like that is the moment you need to get out the field. Like you have it all, that you have all the answers. I'm a seeker of knowledge with everything I do. I am a seeker of knowledge and of truth with everything that I do. The moment that you feel like you got it all and you're above reproach, you need to get out the field.
Hold on,
Wait.
Tony. Hold on.
You see me? Wait,
Carol,
now.
hold on. What did he just drop a PSA?
Listen, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Donovan.
Yo, Carol, he did.
Yes, he did.
Tony,
I was here for it though too. You see me with
because
my
I respect
pen.
you. I allowed you to do that just now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
First guest. You're the first guest. Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know. You know the flow and flavor of the show. I'm sorry.
That just happened.
Donovan is the king of PSAs. There it is.
There it is.
Oh.
There it is. This PSA has been brought to you by Tony Purnell. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Therapists, be aware. Okay. Be aware. Take inventory.
And I mean that.
Understand something that you yourself are not without need as well to address what your needs are and to check in and get that checkup before you get checked out.
It's important. I want to go back. Oh, look at y'all. Tell me I was looking that crazy now. Wait, now I want to go back to something else that you said. Now, so I talked to Tony briefly offline about his book, and he said, okay, so it's a workbook. I said, oh, you're going to hold me accountable, huh? And there's nothing like I could just read it and get some pearls. No, he said, wait, he said, I want to let them know. Master Manifester, a guide to creating the life you want. I said, I need that. He said, whoa, slow down, go fast. Slow down.
Right here.
Let me read that again. Master Manifester, a guide to creating the life you want. Boom. I said, I need to order that. Wait, that's thick too. So wait a minute, man.
Yeah, you're going to do right. You're going to write. I call these things Tony tips. You have several Tony tips in the book. Tony tip number 1, to manifest the life that you want. Awareness of your attraction. What are you attracting? Are you aware of what you're attracting? You don't understand that manifestation happens without you even being aware. You can say, oh my God, dang, I just got paid, but I'm so dang on broke. Now you've manifested being broke. You've manifested poverty into your life because you spoke it.
See,
you don't understand the things that you speak.
There's power in words.
That's right.
You know
Life
what?
and
My
death
family,
is in the power of
your tongue.
My grandmother would always say that there is power in words. Be careful what you speak and what you put into the atmosphere.
Exactly.
On that note, though, would you please tell everybody the name of the website so they can order it too? Because I want,
you can order directly from my website, tonypurnell.com, and you click on my webpage where it says my book and my products. And so you can click on my book and you can have it shipped out to you directly. You can also buy it on Amazon. This is a workbook. So people who have bought it, wait, hold on. This is like a journal. I got to write stuff. I was like, yeah. I can't. Listen, I'm giving you Tony tips to manifest it, but you're going to be the one mapping it out. That's why this is a road map for you. There's different signs along the way. You dictate that. I'm just navigating. You're the one driving. You put that address in, and your GPS. Technically, the GPS leads you, but you can turn right. You can turn left, and that GPS is going to say, "Up, we're rerouting. We're going to reroute because you took a left. We're going to reroute." You're the one driving still.
Tony, you want to stop playing with me. These analogies that are so true and so right. Wait, Tony Purnell. It's TonyPurnell.com for our family members who are just listening and are not able to see what we are presenting. So so listen, because I already told him when I talk to him and Dr. Tina Scott, they always check me. Always check me.
I love her.
Oh, as do I. How can we not? Right? How can we not? Really. She is, but I feel so checked right now. When you said, look, it's a workbook. So that means you have to do some work.
Yeah, you got to work the book. You got to work the book.
Do.
It's right there. It's all in the.
I know.
It's all in the. Yeah.
I know. I do want to do better, and I want to be better. And they say when you know better, you do better.
You do better.
That's what they say. So I'm trying, and I feel like I'm, no, Donovan.
I was just gonna while we're here in a safe space, don't say try.
I'm doing.
I'm doing. Try is a failing word.
Yes,
Donovan, you
thank you.
Listen, the therapy starts now. You're already in treatment.
That is
okay,
something
Carol?
I do all the time. I always say I'm trying. And look, my good cookie girlfriends always say, "Girl, stop, please. You are doing." And I don't know why I have not grasped that yet. Why I don't own that I'm doing.
Well,
I don't know why.
The funny thing about it, and I remember talking with one of our guests about dieting and working out.
Okay.
And I remember just having the conversation about I need to make some better decisions. When I go to the supermarket, blah blah blah. And he said to me, and he dropped this gem. He said, "Donovan, remember the journey starts in your mind." And he checked me so hard. I was like, but I just had to share that with you right here in this space as well. The journey starts in your mind, So when you say trying means that sliver of doubt, the little hater that's in your brain, is still alive. You just need to stomp that little sliver of hate out and get back into, what do you believe? Look in the mirror. You believe you can do this? Okay, so then start doing it. That's it. And along the way, while people are talking, we all, from a cultural standpoint, we got to stop that. What you been up to?
Yeah.
Just trying to survive, just holding on, just whatever. And we just start with this narrative that has us hanging off the edge of a cliff. And stop, look at yourself. You standing on your own feet. Why are you doing it? Why do we romanticize the struggle? So forget
Donovan, wait a minute. Can we stop right there?
What did you say?
Can you say that again? Why? No, ask the question, please. No, that was so real. Because it's
what
so
did you
real.
say?
Why do we romanticize the struggle?
That right there.
That's
right
it.
there.
Y'all pulled me in the booth. I'm here now. Listen.
But you know what? Crazy.
No, but on this serious note, we romanticize the struggle. Yeah,
we do.
We beast mode. It's just this. It's so hard. It's like, hold on. What about just as you mentioned, right? The approach that you take, Tony, when you talk about a strengths-based approach. Right, it's a strengths-based approach. It's a solution-oriented, solution-centered approach. Right, that's where we stay focused on. But as long as you keep looking around, at the water, you won't notice that you're actually floating.
That is so good.
Thanks.
I mean,
okay, Donovan.
But you get to a point. Okay, you thought this way all these years. It took you a long time to think this way. It's gonna take a lot to undo it. Right, and they're called ants. I like to call them ants. Automatic negative thoughts. They come, they're frequent, and they're automatic. Automatic negative thoughts. But you're the one who changes that automatic negative thought in your life. Kill the ants in your life. I tell people all the time, it's about your perspective. It's how you think about things. If my nephew left a pair of sneakers on the steps, and I'm coming down and I fell, I can do two things. I can get up and whip his tail because you left these sneakers on the step, and I told you don't leave these sneakers on the step. Or I can say, well, I got down fast today. I got down them steps a lot faster than I did yesterday. Oh, okay? Either you're going to be upset that you just fell down the steps, or you can say, well, I got down a lot faster than I did yesterday. It's your approach. Carol laughing at me.
No, because you know what? That is so real. No, you are so, because I tend to be the person who sees the silver lining. And so, people say to me, really? That's what they do.
Absolutely.
Because I'm the person that's, I guess that was meant. I got down here faster now, didn't I? And everybody would always say, anybody who's in my company would say, no, you didn't. Seriously.
Yeah.
What you need to do, Yeah.
That's a gift for somebody to always see the beauty in a thing, to always see the silver lining, for always seeing the positive aspect of a thing, even when my world makes seem like it's crumbling. For you to have that aspect, that's a gift.
Well, praise God for that. I do every day, all day. You hear me? For each and every single little thing, every single thing.
That's right.
I really do.
That's why I tell people all the time, it's good. also gratitude places you in a position that nothing else will. People don't understand the power and the effect of being grateful. When you are grateful for the little, okay, God's going to reward you more. The universe is going to give you more. Okay, great. You can handle that. Let's give you a little bit more. Let's see what you do with that. People all the time asking, well, why are you so happy about this? It's okay. Somebody just bought you a bottle of hot sauce. Thank you, friend. I love this bottle of hot sauce. They know I love hot sauce. My friend gives me hot sauce whenever he goes out on a trip when he flies, and I'm so grateful. And he was like, "Dang, that's all. This is a bottle of hot sauce. Thank you." I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. And speaking of grateful, we need to be grateful to our funders by way of going to break. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to Love and Life.
I'll never forget the day I nearly died. I was a young journalist with a great career, starting a family. The only way we found out I had any kind of heart issue was when I went into sudden death. My coworkers sprung into action. They've recently been trained in life-saving CPR protocols developed by the American Heart Association. They're the ones that kept me alive until the medics came. They did many tests on me in the hospital after my cardiac arrest and created a treatment plan, all with research from the American Heart Association. I think unless you are a heart disease patient, you may not know how much work the American Heart Association does behind the scenes to save your life. Since my cardiac arrest, I've had 2 more children. I've watched all 3 of my children grow into adulthood. I'm going to cry now. Graduate from college. My daughter got married. I have grandchildren. And I'm still here.
Learn more about the American Heart Association's work at helpheart.org.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone, and as any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Everyone loves a champion. Someone whose performance puts them head and shoulders above the rest. But not all champions wear a medal or hoist a trophy. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. We believe abuse can be prevented by taking a hard look at how we coach, how we train, and how we interact after the last whistle. We have provided over 2 million safe sport trainings. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. Every day he's hungry for something. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then it kind of starts to work itself out.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and brazen culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at WURDradio.com. We've been joined by none other than our friend and guest, Mr. Tony Purnell, and we've all been checking one another, I think, in this entire conversation, and we've been sharing gems, pearls, and all kinds of stuff.
Man, it's just been a wisdom. It's been like a wisdom, what do you call it? Cipher. Like, yeah, it's been crazy.
I love
it.
Yeah. So I want to go back to your book for just a moment. So when I family, I've not yet acquired the book, but I did tell you. Okay, so we're all going to get it. We're going to go to TonyPurnell.com, TonyPurnell.com. We're going to get our workbooks. Okay, what should I expect? What should I expect when I get my workbook?
So I tell people to expect, to expect the unexpectable. So you map out your own life.
Okay.
You can't expect results if you're not having action behind them. If it's going to sit on the shelf and draw dust, then expect that. Expect it to draw dust. But when you crack that thing open, all right, I don't care how long it's been on that shelf. You are going to expect a unbelievable, unrecognizable life. Because that's the life that you desire, the life that you deserve. The life that you desire is the life that you deserve. So why can't you have it? If you expect it, it shall be yours. That's it. Whatever it is for yourself, whether it be a house, a car, a child, whatever it is, you map out that life.
You know, the one thing I keep coming back to is accountability. And I know that is so important in the journey. But I repeat it to myself because that's my that's one of my challenges. But it's not a challenge that I refuse to meet. So I'm okay on that. Wait, I want to pivot for just a moment. Donovan, is there mood lighting happening right now? What's going on here? What's it looks like?
Got this.
Yeah, what's happening here?
When I share knowledge, I become Morpheus. Okay.
Tony,
you got this hue around you. Yeah, it's like this dark hue. I aim to be a light, so we got to put some light where. No, absolutely not.
What's going on here?
When I speak the truth, that's the darkness trying to crowd me.
Oh, absolutely.
You understand?
Well, we need to brighten these lights on our end because we can't allow. Let me turn my light up because we can't allow.
That's okay because the more you focus, and the more you stay locked in on the truth, you come into the light. You see that?
Oh my shot! No, hold on. Hold on now.
People, you're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at WURDradio.com. This is what we do. True as is, no frills, unapologetic, straight up, black and white. That's just who we are. Totally transparent. We're going to bring it to you as it should be. Just authenticity. That's it.
I love it.
Not laced with authenticity, through and through authenticity. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I like that though. Morpheus. Okay, Morpheus. Tony, I'm stuck on this silhouette. I don't know what's going on here.
Listen.
And it just so happened to, I mean, it came about. Wouldn't you say? It just
It
came
did.
about.
It came at the right moment, right at the close.
I mean,
What's
you
going
were
on here?
imparting knowledge. You were. So, I mean, hey.
That's what happens. That's what happens, though.
Listen.
You know what they say, shame the devil. So the best way to do it is to speak it up. Speak it.
Hello.
That's it.
Hello.
That's it. Stay locked in. No matter how much that dark starts to crowd even more, just keep talking. Just keep talking. Keep being. Stay locked in. That's what you got to do. It's like Paul did when he took his eyes off. He took his eyes off Jesus. What he started doing, he started to sink. Don't do that. Don't look at the darkness. Just keep your eyes locked in. Keep your eyes on the prize. For those who don't follow, it's okay. Just keep your eyes on the prize. And I'm gonna say the last thing I'm gonna say about this: practice. This is my term. Dummy discipline. Once you got that map that Tony got, right, and you know what the path is, practice dummy discipline. And dummy discipline is when you stop thinking and you just do. You already know the route. The more you start thinking about it, the more you come up with excuses for why you shouldn't take that next step and get to that next stage. Practice dummy discipline once you lock in on the route that you're going to take.
Donovan, are you going to get a workbook too?
Oh yeah, I'm not even asking for a free one. Look, let me show you something. You see this right here? Look.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm already on this side. I know.
I got the site up. I'm about to make my purchase. So
me too.
I just need y'all to see that. It's not.
I can't turn my laptop around to show you, but I have it in the other window. I did the same thing. When we were on break. I opened the window to go purchase my book.
Pull it up.
I'm so serious about this. This is real. This is real.
Man.
I love this. I love our journeys. This is wonderful.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm all excited. Okay.
Wow, thank you. And that's another thing about what to expect from this book. Tony, tip number 4: let go of everything you already know.
Ooh.
Let go of everything you think you already know with this process in terms of manifesting. When you manifest, you have to let go of the idea of the past and the future and live in the moment. You got to let go of everything you already know. So expect to release. Expect to surrender. You can't get where you want to be if you don't surrender.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Let me stop. Y'all all my tips.
We already going to buy the book, man.
We already sold.
Listen, somebody need this.
We are sold on it already.
Somebody need this thing.
But I'm going to say this to you, Tony. Never slow down from giving Tony tips out there in that space. And I'll say that because, a lot of times people say the same thing. I do my thing online every week. I'm out there, giving tips on different things. And people say, aren't you afraid that someone is just going to gather all that and do X, Y, and Z? I says, no, I'm not afraid. If they use it, amen, because there's more than enough out here in terms of the need. So let it go. But here's the other thing. There's not going to be another Tony. So to navigate through that space, right, in the way that you would, then you set yourself up for the speaking engagements. I'm just saying, you're not slick. I got you. It's okay. You know what I mean? But continue giving those out because at the end of the day, people are going to want the additional context, right? And the energy behind it. Because even with the book, I'm just not a shot against the book, but the reality is it's 2-dimensional. So thank you for bringing the other dimension here to encourage people that even with this book, the book is not enough. It's to get you started. And very much like your site says, thank you for taking the first step, right? So the second thing is now you purchase a book. The third thing is schedule Tony or someone in your space that you have that good vibe with, like we talked about earlier, so that you can begin also continuing the work.
Donovan, I'm telling you, this hue is it's doing something. This silhouette, I don't know.
Listen, I feel like
you're imparting more knowledge.
I feel like Neo right now.
You went from Morpheus to Neo. I mean, but hey, it's working. But it's working. It's working.
It's working for you.
And
you should brand it. You should brand it.
I'm saying. Donovan's Corner. The authenticity of it. I mean, listen.
It's coming from an authentic space. Thank you, Carol. And I'll talk with your people. We'll work out the numbers. Yes, no problem. I get it.
No, I gave that to you.
Thank you.
No,
I'm gonna keep this recording just in case it gets funny when the money starts coming. I'm just saying. Look, we don't have time. We gotta wrap this show up.
How grateful I am because that is not me. But in any case, he is so right. I hate that when we come to the end of our episode. I know hate is such a strong word, so I will not say that, but I dislike it very much because I have so much fun.
Carol,
this was awesome.
Guess what? We got a solution though in the Tony Purnell way. The solution is we'll do a part 2. Boom.
Right.
I love it. I love it. And on that note,
this is perfect.
Right. What I want to say, what Donovan wants to say is family, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Tony, thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, imparting your knowledge. We love you. And we cannot wait to have you back. Family, remember, we're all in this together. Be good to you and those around you. And join us again at midnight, Sunday through Thursday, for another edition of Love and Life on WURD.
Peace.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and brazen culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it's easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still has to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Sam, Elmo.
Oh, hey, Julia. you ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.